There are two types of traders in this world. Here's the first one. Can't believe I lost that trade. Well, I'm just going to pretend that never happened. And here's the second one. Yeah, that kind of sucks. I'm going to journal this. The difference between a successful trader and an unsuccessful trader is they journal everything, not just their trades, but their day to day life, their habits, and they're keeping themselves accountable, which is what you're currently failing to do. Now, I built this trading journal for myself. It's journaled every single trade that I've taken across this year, and it's got every single little detail about the trade in terms of what account it was, what session it was, what day of the week, etc. And this is actually be used by many of our students inside the mentorship. Now, the reason this trading journal is good is because it allows you to see specific patterns in your trading just by looking at the trades. So, what I mean by this is, for example, I can look at this trade here and I can see, well, instantly I'm trading choppy market conditions. You can see here that there's divs everywhere. There's a div here, there's a div here. It's going up 1 minute, down the next minute. It's very manipulated price action. And I'm not surprised that I'm getting caught out on this. And this was a repeated pattern in my trading for quite some time. See here, trading choppy conditions. You can see here, trading choppy conditions. You can see here, trading choppy conditions. And then I kicked that out, ultimately, trading less choppy, trading less choppy, trading less choppy, trading less choppy. Do you see the point? So instantly, my trading has gone from trading non and lower probability conditions to instantly understanding that this is the root cause problem of why I'm not seeing success currently, removing this, and now I'm left with this. And that is what journaling is all about, removing the bad, replacing with the good, and then taking the bad out of the good, and then replacing it with more good. That's essentially what a journal is, to sum it up briefly. Now, this trading journal has genuinely changed my life. It's got every single repeated mistake that I've made, and it holds me accountable. Now, this journal is more than just a trading journal. It's got my psych mastery, so I can talk in here about my psychology, emotional control, things like that. And it's very important for every trader to have one of these because if you're failing to understand the root causes of your problems, how are you expecting to see success long term in trading? Because any trader can win a trade. They can go on a 3-win streak. It's realistically not that difficult. You could just get lucky. But then as soon as they lose, they fail to understand why, and they fail to understand why they keep winning loads and then instantly spiraling. And simply because they're not journaling to a high standard. So, what I'm going to do for you in this video is I'm going to give you a brief summary and a bit of a template that you can try use for yourself and start journaling your trades to a high standard. Or if you want this trading journal, just check the link in the description and you're more than welcome to have it. So first off, when it comes to a trading journal, I think it's important to be structured as shown. So I've got loads of different filters on here, such as I can, vary it from win, loss, or break even. I can choose what day of the week it is, so which days were higher probability days, etc. And just being able to do this has really helped me understand specific patterns in my trading. So we're just going to use this one, for example. So you can see here that this one isn't filled out because I thought I'd do it with you. So pretty much what account was it taken on? Was it taken on your evals, your funded accounts, or your personal? Now, hopefully you've at least got a personal account or a funded account. And if not, you can just tick evals. Maybe, you're working to get funded. Now, what session was it taken in? Was it taken in London, Asia, New York, whichever? What day of the week was it? And this right here is very important because you're going to see repeated patterns in your trading for what days are higher probability and which days perform worse. So we can tick this as just Wednesday, for example. Now, percentage risk, I usually risk 1% on all of my accounts except my personal. So right there will be 1%. Now, what was my return of investment? Well, maybe aim for a 1 to 2. So that would be 2. So I made 2% return. Gross P&L in terms of actual money gained. So this in this trade example was $5,000. So quite simply, we put gross P&L in there. And now what does my account balance sit at? Now this is important because what you're going to start to build is an equity curve. If you do this every single time and you fill in your account balance, what's going to happen is you can check, 3 trades before and go, actually, I lost one. Oh, sorry, I lost 2 trades in a row. I've won one and now I'm back to the same point. And just being able to understand that and to switch your mindset to thinking in probabilities is going to massively change the game for you. So in terms of account balance, you may be working on a funded, so we'll just put 150,000. Now, in terms of direction, was it long? Was it short? Again, this is quite important data to collect. What pair was it? Again, that's 100. Win, loss, or break even. This one was a win. And what was your percentage for the month? So again, you can collect all of your percentage data for the month. So maybe this is my 4th win of the month. Maybe I'm up 6%. Maybe I've lost 1 trade. So I can put 6% in there. And then what's going to happen is the potential RR. This is kind of important, I guess, because sometimes it'll allow you to understand that your model actually has more potential to run higher sometimes. So if the momentum presents itself, it may be a good idea to start trading your stop loss. So again, collecting this data is very, very important. So the next one is going to be the model. So I trade the initial breakout and the Asia sweep. These are my two highest probability models that I only really trade now. I don't really trade the others. But again, if you're filtering it, if let's say you've got five different strategies in your arsenal, you can then start to narrow them down to which ones actually suit your personality better. So I've managed to do that, and I've filtered it out to the IB and the Asia sweep. And then under here, you can write your confluences. What confluence did you have? Pretty much summarize this as a whole. This is the simplest part. What confluences did you have? Was it a textbook play? What gave you confidence? Now, this is going to be the most important thing that I run through in this video, which is what to do after you've done the basics. This right here is the basics. Now we need to analyze our performance. And this right here changed the way I trade, because I'm not just collecting data on my strategy, I'm collecting data on myself. I am the trader. I am the one that pushes the button. I'm the one that manages risks, manages my position. So I need to understand what characteristics of my trading are transferring over to the trading. What habits am I building? And the point I'm trying to get to is we need to analyze the trader's performance. What I don't mean by this is I entered on a 5-minute closure and set B at 1R. That's not what I mean by performance. What I mean by performance is, how did I feel before the trade? What emotions creeped in prior to entry? How did I stay calm in drawdown? Did I do well to manage these? What did I do think to prevent myself from making emotional based decisions? Now, these are questions that every trader should be asking themselves. You don't need to necessarily answer all of these, because some of these may not apply to your trade, but some of these are absolute golden nuggets to find out more about you as a trader. So let's just answer these together. So how did I feel before the trade? I felt confident. I saw my model present itself. I have 5 years of data on the model, and know if I take this trade 100 times over, I will see success long term. What emotions creeped in prior to entry? Slight hesitation when we started stalling, but I understood this is one trade out of 100, and one win means nothing, one L means nothing. So what I mean by this is I hesitated slightly just up on entry because we started stalling at the gap. As you can see here, we started to stall, but I understood this is one trade out of 100. If this trade wins, it's probably not going to matter. If this trade loses, it's probably not going to matter. What matters is my performance out of 100 trades. So I understand that if I take this trade 100 times over, I'll probably see success. If it wins, it doesn't really matter. And if it loses, it doesn't really mean anything. Because again, if I take this trade 100 times over, I'll probably see success. What emotions crept in during the trade? So a common one is hesitation. How did you manage these? This is where it gets really important. So just for the last couple, just to not bore you with it. So did I have any temptations to go break even or TP early? Yes. When we came up to 1R, I wanted to close just so I could end the day on a win. And a lot of people attach themselves to a good day is a winning day, which in reality is not the case in trading at all, because you can do everything right and still lose money in this game. What did I do well to manage these? Well, I understood the long-term probability of the model. I understand if this loses, this is still a good trade because it matched my criteria. And if I take this trade 100 times over, I'm probably going to see success. Even if it does lose, this is still a good trade to take. How did I stay calm? Well, I just let the market do its thing. It's not in my control. I have my break-even point set and my risk is already managed. And what did I do to prevent myself from making emotional-based decisions? And for me, it's simply understanding if I keep repeating past mistakes, I'm just going to remain the same. So this is how to journal a trade. And if you're not doing this, in my opinion, you're not doing the basic standard of what a trader should be doing. You are very blessed to be in the position of you look at candlesticks for a living and you press a button that says buy or sell. And yeah, a lot of emotional things will creep in during whilst you trade. But this is part of the game you're in. And if you're not analyzing your performance as a trader, you're not going to improve. So I hope you've resonated to this video to some extent. Again, if you want this trading journal, I'll leave a link down below where you can get access to it for completely free. But you have to understand this is the basic standard of every single trader. Every good trader goes in depth on their performance, not just what happened in terms of the trade. Performance matters over P&L. I'll say this again. Performance matters over P&L. You could do everything right and you can still lose money in this game. So we need to make sure that we're coming to the market and we're strictly focused on performing well, not making money. So if you found this video helpful, drop it a thumbs up. If you want to hit that subscribe button, you're more than welcome to do so. And that's been all from me today. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. You take care.